Ugh. So, so life has been pretty interesting, if I do say so myself. Over the past 2 months, it started with you know, me making a video where I said like something pretty nasty. It was pretty bad. I was definitely in the wrong. Um, with just like very specifically what I said about. I gotta be careful. Yeah, I'll just say that I said something about my ex and like who she was with sexually, and that pretty much like opened up Pandora's box where because I did something wrong, now it's like finally time to open up the lid and like expose everybody to the horrible monster that I actually am. And you know what? You know what? She was abso-fucking-lutely right. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to give a big apology. The biggest apology that's ever apologied, because the reality is the content that I've put on my channel for the last like 5 years has fucking sucked. It has actually contributed so much to like the worst side of the internet, and I've totally fed into like this side of hatred, you know, that like has gotten me rich, because it's gotten me rich. And like, damn, it is so easy, and especially when you're like taking care of another person, to be like, well, all right, I need more people to be watching my channel, so that they show up to my streams. But what do people like? Negative content? I'm going to talk about something. I'm going to basically talk about something and mock it musically, and like, wow, what a horrible fucking concept. You see, the thing is when I started this channel, it wasn't like that at all. It was just me talking about music and like describing it in ways that were magical and that like inspired people and made them happy. But then, there was like a pivotal turning point, and it was this one video I made on ARTV. You may be asking like, yo, who's ARTV? Right? Who the fuck is ARTV? You've probably watched one of his videos, but you don't remember it because it was so negative and so sour and so shitty, that it had like nothing to do with music and was just literally an attack on someone's character. And like, here's the thing: is like, truthfully, my video that I made on him was like all about this, and his response was to intimidate me over a message. And of course, I'm 17 at the time, so I see this and I'm like, oh my god, big celebrity like messaging me. Oh, they're telling me that they don't like the video. Oh my god, I gotta do something about this. And so what ends up happening is I end up making up with ARTV and then becoming ARTV over the years. He is somebody who is a fucking loose cannon. My god, he has like done so much stupid shit and said like, sorry guys, I was like extremely high when I did it, and I fucking became this guy. I just started spewing hatred out of my neck and believing that like as long as like I can justify somehow like destroying someone, or as long as I like view someone specifically through a negative aspect of their character, I can literally say and do anything I fucking want against this person and I can justify it, because like truthfully it's a superiority thing. But the reality is yeah, I did the same fucking thing. So like, I can like sit here and say, oh wow, what a piece of shit, which I am doing. But like also at the same time, this is what I did. I made videos on Melanie Martinez and basically continued making them even when the victim of abuse was clearly wanting me to stop, because I was riding the high, like I was riding the high of destroying somebody. It's the same thing with like, like even just like small things like making videos on the new Panic at the Disco album. Like that guy fucking like put his heart and soul into everything that he did on that shit and like was trying something new. And instead of like, doing what I think now is like what you're supposed to fucking do with music, which is essentially encourage the good and like nudge someone in the correct direction so that they create something that like everyone can enjoy. Instead, I'm treating it like it's high school and I'm like saying, wow, your shirt fucking sucks. You can't sit with us. And I've been fucking doing this for years. I've been doing this for years. I'm not saying all my videos are this horrible, but I'm telling you, man, money, 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 and fame, money and fame, money and fame. My God, they have destroyed my fucking soul. They've absolutely killed me. All right, and to the fact of where it's like I don't even Like I finally see it, and it's crazy how much I think that like the general music community fucking sucks right now. And like the person spearheading it is also like contributing to the problem, but wears so much perfume that you can't smell it. All right? That's kind of like what I wanted to make this video about. Is the album Red Light by Blade is one of the most beautiful, amazing pieces of art I've like heard in my entire life. I've gotten into Blade recently, and it's specifically this album that got me into it to say like, you know, I'll explain. So Fantano gave the album a 1 out of 10, and his review was like, the only way to make something worse than this is if it was a parody. You know? And like at the time I'm laughing about it. I'm like, that's funny as shit. I'm listening to this music and I'm like, wow, look at this weird shitty auto-tune. Yeah, no, this sucks. I even made a fucking video about it. And you can see, and I think that like if you go back and watch this video, I want you to like understand and watch this thing with like the mindset of like, I look up to this guy who's like perfectly spewing negativity into the world. And I mean it to where it's like, it looks like a fashion statement. And like, this is the kind of person who like I wanted to shape my life around because of the positive content that they made, but ended up like sticking around for the negative and getting roped into that mindset and honestly becoming part of the problem, because I was like, oh, this must be okay also. Like you can talk really great about music and encourage people, you know, to listen to things. But then all of a sudden, like this Blade album comes along, like his review did so much damage, you know, like it did so much damage. And it's not going to really be discussed or like justified or no, like, let me just tell my personal experience, because like for me, I just believed it was garbage until like this whole fucking situation happened where like my life just like became a fucking soap opera, you know? And all of a sudden I have a friend who's like explaining some of the lyrics on The Fool to me, and pretty much how they talk about like, you know, they're basically always being a night and a day, and how like there's a beauty to both, and it's very important that both exist, both the down and the up. And yeah, I completely fell in love with Blade's music. I fucking think that this guy is I think that he's one of the most innovative and important artists like working at the moment. And like the things that I judged him for and wrote him off for are fucking ridiculous. Like completely fucking ridiculous. But these are like ideas that are put in my head because it's like an okay idea to put out content shitting on other people's music. When in reality, there's like no fucking reason to ever do that. And and I got like completely stuck in this trap where like I was getting paid a lot of money and people were sending in music. And what would happen is like, yeah, like it was great when I was listening to music and I was loving it and I had a lot to talk about. But what happens when it's something I don't understand? What happens when someone sends in a song that they absolutely love and I don't understand it? Well, they're paying me $30 and I'm giving them 3 minutes of my time. And now what happens is I don't get it, and it's not worth it to stick around and try to learn more about it, because it's now all of a sudden like, you know, inefficient. So it's better to just make a quip and like point out tiny little things that I think are wrong with it, instead of just like, you know, admitting like, yeah, I just don't get this, you know, and I probably would need more listens. Because if I said that out loud, that would cost me, you know. Everyone's, oh my God, like, wow. I'm just going to jump in here and mention this. Like, everyone loves to talk about how I spend my money. Wow. Like, damn. It's crazy. Like the information that has gone online because I fucked up. Like it's the same thing with the music. It's like I did something really bad, and so it's now okay for everyone to do stuff that's worse, because unfortunately they view me in the same way as ding ding ding. Topic number 2, Rose Malay. Rose Malay is my new best friend. I fucking love Rose Malay. I think that she is a beautiful person, and I will literally say exactly how I describe her, what I've said to her, to you. And she is a ballerina in an hourglass, like that is filling with sand and like swallowing her alive. You know, she is somebody who is like a very beautiful and damaged person who has fucked up. And because they fucked up, it has literally resulted in just a chain of events with her consistently not being able to figure stuff out, because like, again, like she like had to fucking have all of this happen super young. and like she has not been able to like put the pieces together and be able to like, you know, explain to people situations, because like the fact is people judge her so fucking hard. And like, sure, the immediate response is the exact same thing I did. The exact same thing I did for years to justify abandoning her and not trying to help her. And it's basically, whoa, look at these horrible things she said. She's a terrible person. I need to abandon her along with everybody else. That's what fucking happened. Like 7 years ago when she tweeted out something, you know, they're calling her the original Kanye. All right, she said Hitler had positive qualities. And like, of course I see this. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? It's not like a justifiable statement. But the thing is the way that people react is unfortunately just like a condition of the internet. Is basically, instead of picking somebody else or picking somebody up and trying to help them when they're down, it's to kick them. Or it's to run away from them. And that is exactly what fucking happened in this situation. Look, I made a mess of my life and literally lost everyone. But then realized that, like, I lost fucking no one. Because these people were never my friends in the first place. Like, the reality is like, it's all just been, like, bad air. Like, from the very beginning, you know? Like, my content brought in these people. And my content had some positives and some extraordinary negatives, just like me in my life. And as you see in my personal life, you know? But it's like, as soon as the night comes along, you know, as soon as they see the dark side of that, it's, you know, it's like basically, oh man, this guy, no, this guy's a monster, you know? And once they do that, they can justify spilling any information about me, any secrets. I'm going to call out Rose Malay. Rose Malay leaked my freestyle, all right? She wants me to give her credit. She values that credit. I'm going to give her that credit. She did it after she heard audio of me screaming like a motherfucker at my ex. All right? Because she was like, oh man, like, wow, like I didn't realize she was such a bad person. And then all of a sudden she had like a moment of opportunistic, like, I can do something to like benefit myself from it. But like also at the same time, it's like buried under I'm doing something good. You know? And she posted that freestyle, and god damn that freestyle. Wow, that really became the subject of a lot of things. You know, I was so tapped in when I made that. That was like one of the most honest and raw things I've done emotionally, like, in my entire life. Like, finally just, like, letting all of my grievances out, you know? And, like, exaggerating them beyond belief. But then it's like the interpretation of that was also the least charitable thing imaginable. But like also at the same time, I'm starting to learn that like you can't fucking fix the way that these people work online. And that's why I'm here making this video like this right now, is because the reality is I have a lot of shit I want to talk about, but I don't think I'm going to change anybody's fucking mind, except for a couple of people who I really fucking care about, who are going to see this video and who are going to message me afterwards and be like, hey, what's up? I saw this vid. I get what you're trying to do. You might not have worded it perfectly. It might have been a fucking mess. I see what you're trying to do. You know what I've been doing the last 2 months? I had to go offline, and I've been literally just DJing for people one-on-one for hours every single day, like 12 hours a day, either calling one person or multiple people, just playing music, like just perfecting a skill, actually getting good at an instrument. All right, if you don't think a DJ deck is an instrument, you're an idiot. So I'm getting fucking good at this DJ deck, and I'm actually like learning something, and I'm like getting better with music. And like while I'm doing this, like my entire perspective on music has changed. And like with that has come like my entire perspective on life, you know? Like, and all the negative shit that I was holding on to, and all the negative, horrible fucking people I was around all the time. Like, there's a lot. Okay, I'm just gonna say there's a lot of fucking things I want to say about my ex, but the reality is like at this point, genuinely, it's not fucking worth it. Like. I actually have some things that would explain a lot, you know, that would make you go, oh, you know? So like, I'm just going to say thank you to the people who like see me screaming at her like a fucking madman and who actually ask questions, because no, that's not justifiable behavior. It's horrible. But I was also like a mentally ill child that she found, you know, and was like, I'm going to fix you, just like she tried to do with her last boyfriends. That's right. I'm bringing back more information. All right, she literally looked at me and she was like a dog trainer trying to fix me for years, instead of viewing me like a person, instead of viewing me like an equal, like a friend, like a human being. It was either I'm lesser than her or like I'm a threat because I have more like of a voice than her, you know? And that's not great when you're in a relationship with someone for years, because they really do, like, you feel it in every aspect, you know? fuck. I'm trying to wonder, like, should I throw her under the bridge for like being the one to get me on drugs? Like, yeah, I think so. I think it's worth it. I never wanted to touch drugs in my fucking life. I made that so unbelievably clear to her. I was a kid. She fucking like she promised me the goddamn world, you know? Like she was like, "Oh my god, like I could see you're unhappy. Like, come move here. I'll take care of it. I'll get us an apartment. You know, you won't have to worry about anything. I'll make sure that it's all cozy and you can just focus on, you know, your work and becoming a YouTuber and it'll be great. We'll live a nice, happy life." And it's great. It's like years later, you know, she looks at me and she's like, "You know, you could technically look at this situation that happened as grooming, you know. You could see it that way." And I'd be like, no, that's not what's happening. Because I love you so much. Like, there's no way. I don't feel groomed because I love you so much. So it can't possibly be that. You know? Like, this is the shit that I'm dealing with now and, like, looking at and, like, seeing how, like, I've just been, like, delegated to the garbage in the same way that, like, she does with, like, a lot of people who've done, like, something bad. You know? It's just, like, move them to the garbage can out of safety and self-defense. You know? It's just, like, I feel fucking crazy. I feel fucking crazy. Actually, I don't feel fucking crazy. I feel like actually finally not crazy, you know? Every time that I did something that was like, that like hurt her, she would say, "You're on drugs." Also, like, even if I wasn't. Like, I'm telling you, like when I talk about gaslighting, that's what I mean. Like, stuff like that, you know? Like, really fucked up shit like that, you know, constantly in my life. And like, I'm trying to get fucking mental health help, you know, during this entire time. I'm fucking even talking about this shit online, which still, I don't think it was a good idea to do that. But I did it anyways, because I felt like I was so fucking desperate for just some sort of answer to something that was like, maybe if I just post it all online, something will make sense. I mean, I'm happy to say that, like, I think that everything happened for a reason up to this point, and like where I'm at, you know, makes a lot of sense because of this. But I have a friend. God, I want to air everything out. I have this friend, right? He knew about all this stuff. He was friends with me and my ex. Like, he knew about everything. And I was calling him. I was freaking out. I was telling him I'm suicidal. I was like, dude, I'm literally about to kill myself right now. Like as a last second resort, just saying, like, you know, like a last second call for help before I do it. And like, what he does is he scrambles. He's like, "Oh, this is bad. Like, you know, this is really bad. Let me like make sure everybody can help out." But like, and he knows everything that's happened, you know, between me and her. But as soon as the information goes public, it's crazy. It's like he literally, wow, like when it's private information, he sends everybody to like come and help. As soon as like everything I'm talking about is public, he literally like turns every single one of his friends, actually I should say our friends, against me. And it happened because like I said something behind his back, which turned out to be inevitably insanely fucking true, by the way, and you are going to crash. All right? Sorry for some boogeyman shit. But the reality is, it's like, he's fucking talking about me nonstop behind my back. Nonstop. He doesn't view me as a person. He doesn't give me the same fucking respect. And I'm just saying right now that like these people are not friends. These people will never be my friends. These people are not capable of being my friends. All right, these people are horrible people. They're the kind of people who are so conditional that, like, truly, when shit hits the fan, they do not stick around. No matter how close they are to you, no matter if they even fucking knew the entire situation beforehand, they all of a sudden view you in an entirely different way. And this is unfortunately, once again, just the way that the internet works and the way that, like, I've just, like, collected friend groups. Like, okay, let me just say the other thing here. Being, like, treated like a fucking dog by your partner and, like, basically groomed into saying the right thing all the fucking time online, it results in you basically being surrounded by a bunch of people who are, like, just as, like, totally, who are, like, nothing like you at all, who like think that they know you, think that they connect with you and understand you, but the reality is they don't fucking know you, you know. And I try to fucking show myself online, at least now, you know, in a more honest way. It's like as fucking disgusting as and ugly as that could feel to people, you know, but goddamn, I would do that over whatever the fuck I've been doing when I was with her for so long. Because what I did is like, it got me rich, made me a shitload of money, but it killed my fucking soul. It killed my soul. I've wanted to kill myself 4 times in the last year. I've actually almost killed myself twice. And like, I tried to fucking talk about it, and then it was like, she was like, no, hold on. Let me just like destroy your fucking life and whatever's left of it. And then I was like, right there, I was like, I took the blame for all of it. I was like, this is it. I'm damned. This is my fault. I'm just going to kill myself. I recorded a fucking suicide note. It was like one of the most honest and real things that just like talked about how like, oh, I've just been this way since I was 4 and I'm just going to die this way, you know? And my God, like, it's just like, she was there, right there when that happened too, to just like cry and freak out, not apologize, because she takes no blame for a single thing that happened in our entire fucking relationship. Not to apologize, but to basically say, no, please, you have so much to live for. If you do this, if you kill yourself, I'll never be okay. Which is like, sure, I believe her. Yeah, you know. But then, like, why is it that she's still going on? Like, I'm sorry, but, like, I felt like that the situation was closed. But, like, genuinely, if Ethan Klein were to ask her a fucking question, she would bend over so fucking fast, like, to answer it and throw me in the garbage. Because, like, unfortunately, like, it's just that. You know, it's just that internet space. It's just like she could just be easily encouraged and egged on to say the worst thing and most personal thing about my life and not lose a bit of fucking sleep over it. You know? So my thing I'm going to say about this whole situation is there's nothing I can do about her. Like, I blocked her. It's over. It's beautiful that it's over. And I swear to God, if I fucking put this out, like, I know for a fact that she's going to bring up even worse shit, because that's how it's going to work. It's going to be mudslinging, because she will literally burn me to the ground and stab me in the throat and like put a fucking metal stake through my heart before she has to ever admit that she possibly did something wrong. I have seen this literally as we were in a room together with a counselor. I have seen it with my own 2 fucking eyes, me like desperately trying to explain like myself. And having this other person, like, say, you know, you should probably acknowledge what he's feeling. You should acknowledge how he feels. And her throwing a fucking tantrum. Yeah. So, with that being said, let me move on to section 2 of this video. All right. And that, of course, is Red Light. I want to talk about this album. This album is absolutely amazing. All right. And that, of course, is Red Light. I want to talk about this album. This album is absolutely amazing. I figure since, you know, this whole video is just a big fucking mess, you know, that I might as well talk about an album, you know, even though, like, my life at this point is definitely music. You know, it's certainly an interesting composition, but yeah, Red Light.